The consolation round here in the ACC Wrestling Championships. Kavion Roller from Virginia, Spencer Moore from North Carolina. Still a lot to wrestle for as you continue on, even though this being the consolation semifinal. Still a lot for every team really throughout the ACC.
Yeah, and I think more importantly, you're joined here by Jacob Casper. I think more importantly here, you're in the Conci semis match, and the winner of this is going to get to wrestle for 3rd and 4th place. That 3rd and 4th place is an auto allocation for NCAAs and a lot of these weights, so it matters a lot on this backstretch here.
There's been a terrific crowd throughout the entirety of this match. Not only with the first couple of matches earlier, but still a good number of holdovers. And before that final comes, it's going to be fantastic stuff. You see, 125, 133 setting it up here at mat 2.
We've got Knox in here deep on the shot. Looking to convert for points here against Porter. And again, the winner of this will get into that 3rd and 4th place match. And there's 3 qualifiers at 133. So they'll get the opportunity to wrestle for that auto qualification at 133 and punch their ticket to Philadelphia.
How much of a marathon is it trying to work your way through the entirety of these championships? Because it's not easy trying to have that mental fortitude to make it through the entire time.
Yeah, you know, to be honest, Luke, like wrestling on the backside in March was something that I never did very well. You know, it's easy to wrestle when you're on the top side and you have your dreams and your goals still that are attainable. But when some of those things get shattered, you know, a goal for all of these guys at the beginning of the year was to be ACC champ. And when that's taken, it's sometimes difficult to rebound and continue to stay motivated. But I think that auto allocation, there's a mouthful for you. Being on the line for that 3rd place finish, I think that's what's going to motivate as we go to review here.
We'll go ahead and take a look.
10 seconds ago.
Minute 16 still remaining. Knox up 3-0 so far. 133 pounds. A solid crowd coming from Stanford earlier, making the trek all the way across the country. They take another look. What do you see there for the review?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what they're trying to say here. If they're trying to say he left both feet for that cutback for the return there, and they're trying to get the you know, the illegal move or illegal hold there point, or what entirely they're trying to do. I didn't see clasping or locked hands, but I would need to see it again to really get a good look at it.
It's a challenge nonetheless. Knox leading 3-0 at the moment. The 133 here. They'll continue to grind this one out, talking strategy. When you have a stoppage already just a couple of minutes in, how does that kind of mess with your momentum? And it can't be easy to try and go for a couple of minutes, and then you kind of got that sweat going, but you still need to get out there and win.
Yeah, and you know, on the other side of that also, like sometimes some guy can be in flow state and it can break it, and then it's hard to regain that. So, you know, as strategic as it can be, yes, you want the points, you want the challenge to succeed, but your coaching staff can also throw it to try to swing momentum back your way or to break up the momentum of the other guy. You know, actually here in Cameron Indoor, my senior year, we wrestled NC State, and I went down by a big deficit early, and Coach Papalizio challenged because he thought that I gave up more points than what I already had. And during that break, I said to Coach Whistle, my assistant coach, I said, "I'm sorry, I'm wrestling so bad." He said, "Dude, it's your career, figure it out," and walked off the mat. And I thought, you know what, he's right. Why am I trying to wrestle for all these external factors? Let's go to work, let's score the next point. And it actually allowed me to regain momentum and slowed the momentum at the time of Malik McDonald. So sometimes it can be counterproductive, sometimes it can be productive. With Knox jumping out to that 3-0 start, and you see in UVA the one throwing to the challenge brick, maybe this is going to give opportunity for Moore to get back in the match and maybe steal some of that momentum back.
That's some tough love coaching if I've ever heard so.
Hey, that is Coach Ben Whistle to a T. Tough love coaching.
Out there on an island anyway, it is your career. You have to go out and try and make it happen.
I see running here at the NCAA tournament, there's a bunch of stars out. I see Nick Wisdowski, multiple-time world medalist up in the stands, and as approaching us right now, Luke, is former NCAA champ Mike Machiavello.
As he makes his way on over. Former national champion.
former national champion. He won and done it, you know. He didn't get on the podium multiple times, but the one time he got on the podium, he got to the top of the podium. And that's one thing about Mike Machiavello as we get set to regain wrestling here. And it looks like he got a point. So I don't know if entirely if that was for a legal cutback. It seems to be a call that they're making a lot here at the ACC tournament and across college wrestling as a whole. But we're 3-1 now as we continue the first period.
It's a worthwhile challenge. It proves to be beneficial. Virginia getting that first point. And a blocked up.
Moore's on bottom there, and it looks like we're holding some back points for Knox to put him back in control and maybe steal some of that momentum that we were just talking about.
Trying to continue to swing that pendulum the other direction. That's going to be so key the rest of the way. And then stalemate trying to gain the leverage.
And, you know, this is a great position for Knox to maintain because you're either getting near fall or you're near getting near fall. But regardless, look at riding time continue to tick up as he's in top and in control and not really exerting a lot of energy and effort here. It's great when you can blow a match open, kind of get into that comfortable position. Because, again, Luke, you have a match after this with an auto allocation on the line. And look at that. I got it pronounced right that time, first try. On the line there with big implications.
Just 10 seconds left. That riding time continues to climb. Over 1 minute and 40 seconds. And a couple of points for Knox. A 5-1 lead. We appreciate your time. We're going to tap in the national champion now. That's right. Mike, we've got you on the headset now.
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you as well.
Jacob Casper for taking over for me. Two-time All-American for Duke and WWE superstar.
Superstar
right
as well.
Oh, yeah. He's on Monday Night Raw now with his brother. They actually just competed for the Tag Team Championships the other night. So he's traveling. He's also been on, I think, what's that UFC series that's been going on with Chael Sonnen and Daniel Cormier. He's been coaching on The Ultimate Fighter in the past couple weeks. So
we were graced by a tremendous presence.
Tremendous presence, man. Honored. Jacob's great, man. Awesome. So we got Knox for supporter here. Scrambling position.
As that riding time at 1 minute 49 seconds looked like he was really gaining control through the early stages.
And if I'm Virginia, my goal here is I want to try to build up. I want to try and get height. And Stanford's doing a great job keeping a ton of pressure and weight on the head, making that really difficult for Virginia to build up and improve his position here. Sliding's off a little bit risky, but he can change the position. But see, now Virginia's finally built up. He's in a much stronger position. So he was starting to get to an advantage there, but ref did a great job making a call to break the action and start them back up on their feet.
Virginia already had the challenge. That's how they got the 1 point out of the challenge. But since then, it's been largely dominated by Knox.
Minute 49 of riding time. Nice level change there. And those level changes, they're super important, right? It makes it really, really hard for your opponent to kind of anticipate, think about what you want to do next. And the best opportunities come when it's hard for them to guess what you want to do next. You create opportunities by being a little bit unpredictable and being hard to anticipate. And fakes, pulling on the head, a lot of heavy hand fighting helps create those types of opportunities there. So it's a great shot by Virginia. Now we got a really, really interesting scramble here.
They're fighting it with just a couple seconds left. Trying to fight for that last moment.
Nice. Virginia's doing a good job. He's got to keep his shoulder tight here. And again, just like last time, trying to build up. But Stanford looks very, very comfortable.
Talked about trying to stay unpredictable. What's the balance between staying unpredictable but also what you've prepared for going in?
Yeah, great question. There definitely is a balance because you don't want to go away from your game plan, right? You don't want to start throwing caution to the wind and just trying to make stuff up. I think the way I like to think about it is you have this base, right? This foundational base that you want to build your wrestling off of. And that's typically off of your go-to attack and maybe a secondary attack. And you're looking for those throughout the entire match. And once your opponent starts to get a feel for those and that starts to become predictable, you start throwing in accessory type of things, supplementary things that kind of enhance those primary attacks and that secondary attack. So if I got a high crotch, maybe I throw in some fake high crotches, get them overreacting. incorporate a snap, you know what I mean, and start working off of those different reactions, and I start chaining things together. But I'm not necessarily deviating from my go-to attacks. I'm just mixing in a couple of other things to make it really, really hard for him to figure out when I'm pulling the trigger.
It's always walking that fine line. That's really what it comes down to. And now Knox with a 9-1 advantage. That riding time north of 2 minutes. And Knox looking like he's in control at the moment. He secured another point for the riding time.
It's good wrestling here by Knox. And these are important rounds. These are important rounds, you know, even though this is the consolation side of the bracket. Every match matters, you know, and you never know. You could potentially get a bid for the NCAA tournament. If there's not enough bids in your bracket, you could get a I don't know if it's called wild card, but that's what I'll call it.
Essentially the wild card.
Right, exactly. And so you wanna get the next best thing if you're not on the top side of the bracket.
It's important to note there's still a lot on the line here in the Constellation.
Absolutely. See, and he's doing a great job here. See how he's got his weight settled back. He turned back in. And that's what Virginia should have done in that earlier exchange when he was in the same position. And Knox did a great job capitalizing there.
And Knox can feel this one now, 26 seconds away. Again, Virginia just getting that 1 point with Porter prior to that on the challenge. Otherwise, Knox has been in control.
Nice, good pressure here by Knox. Looks like he's not going to have a ton of time to come back and close this gap, but hard wrestling from both guys. And honestly, I love the body language here. You know, Knox is coming, sprinting right back to the middle, ready to go right away, and that's aggressive. I think that's important. I think guys got to do that. You know, that's typically how I like to wrestle as well, and I think it sends a message.
Not resting on your laurels. You're still ready to go.
Exactly.
And so Knox with a 9-2 victory, win by major decision. We take a look at some of the updated standings right now.